Hello everyone, and welcome to class. You have found again, hopefully CIS125 Discrete Mathematics. And you know me by now, this is Bob. I really just have a few things for you today. Basically what you all should be doing is you all should be working on assignment 1. Now, don't be lulled asleep by assignment 1. Assignment 1 is really just to kind of get all of you into the swing of things, and I want you to start thinking critically about this stuff. Again, assignment 1 wasn't really about coming up with the right answer, but I know what you're saying. It's like, well, you don't want me to come up with the wrong answer. But it was more like I want you to start thinking about how to solve problems and how to answer these things in your own words. I want you to get out of the whole paradigm of just solving math and putting equations up and Googling things and saying, this is the right answer because I Googled it because of this website, and this website, so it's the right answer. That's not the point. The point is I want you to feel it. I want you to kind of absorb it, and I want you to really think about the problems that you're trying to solve and how to start developing your brain mathematically. So intentionally, I want that process to be slow and methodical, at least at the very beginning of class. So please don't think that I really wanted you just to put your head down and run through a wall and read this and come up with something great. Well, yeah, I kind of wanted you to come up with something good, but I wanted you to start thinking a little bit differently about this. So you should be finishing that up. For those of you that are still working on it, you still got a little bit of time. Now, about that. Now, generally, remember what I mentioned like at the very beginning of class, which wasn't that long ago, that these due dates are really kind of like, bookmarks for you. This is when things should get done. If you need more time, please take the time to do it. This assignment doesn't really fall into that because it was fairly easy. But later on, they will. Later on, as we get a little bit more complicated with our assignments, you may need some more time with that. So notice again that all your assignments, well, they will be. They're all due on Sundays. Why? Well, because that's a good day, because that kind of ends one week and starts the next, right? So we could kind of bookend our weeks, right? We could say that this is the end of what we were doing, and tomorrow is the beginning of something new. So it's always easy to remember that way, but if you need more time, please take it. Now, what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to wait to the end of the semester, because some of you, like me, you look for shortcuts. I do it too. And I'm like, you know what? Wow, all I need to do is, since I know what the assignments are, I could just turn them in the last few weeks of the semester. Don't try it. Although technically that is an option for you. Now, careful. I know what you heard. You heard Bob said it's okay. Well, I said it is an option, but most people aren't successful doing that. You're going to find out later that these assignments get more difficult. And one of the things I want to caution you about, and this is from experience too, especially with remote classes. With a remote class, we listen to the lecture and we think we understand it. And we do. I'm not saying you don't. But when you roll up your sleeves and you get dirty and sweaty and you get into the weeds and you start going through this stuff, you may start to see that these assignments are a little bit more complex than you thought. I get that a lot as a teacher, where I see, my kids. I know you're not all kids, but I call you kids. I mean that affectionately. You nod and smile, yeah, Bob, we get it. Then all of a sudden you try it. You're like, wait. How did this work again? And then you find out that it takes a little bit longer than you think. So don't get caught in the trap where you wait until the last, month or so and you say, I'll just watch the lectures and I'll get it. Most people aren't able to pull it off. You run out of time. You really do. You just kind of flat run out of time. And also, please factor in that although now I'm really not busy, because quite frankly, most of you are still kind of like half asleep. Metaphorically, I don't know if you're really sleeping, but all of a sudden, usually right around the middle of April or so, everyone kind of wakes up when you realize that you're kind of getting close to the end of the semester and you're really not understanding things the way that you thought you did, and you find out that you're kind of falling a little bit behind. That's when all of you start reaching out to me. So all of a sudden, you're dealing with a time crunch now. So now you get to the point where you're like, well, I'll just reach out to Bob. Bob's a nice guy. He's going to sit and spend time with me. You know what? I'd love to. But guess what? Everyone else is doing the same thing too. So please try to keep up with the assignments when they're due. And I'll wrap this up. I know I'm really pounding this into the ground, but I have to. I have to over-explain things, and then I don't bring them up again, right? So try to get them done on the due date. If you can't get them done on the due date, you don't need to let me know, really. I don't need to hear about some catastrophe that happened on Sunday. Your internet went down. Your cat got sick. Okay, your Aunt Edna is visiting. It's fine. That's fine. We're all adults here. Super Bowl Sunday was this day, and I got drunk with my friends. Good. That sounds like fun. Do your assignment Monday then. I really don't care exactly if you get them done on that day. I'm not sitting with a stopwatch, when midnight strikes, I go out and no. It's just, when you get them to me, you get them to me. It's cool. It's all good. All right. So anyway, that's what you should be working on. Number 2, about a few questions about that's been kind of coming up about this. Now remember, all of you are taking this class remote, which means some of you might feel isolated. We all kind of do a little bit. But what does this mean for us? This means that sometimes you don't get to hear, a lot of what the class is doing, because, we meet all the time. I'm always working. I'm always responding to your emails. You're always asking questions. You're always giving me stuff. So, the rest of the class doesn't see that, right? You don't see what I'm doing because I'm kind of in the center of all this. So I kind of use this time here to kind of let you know what everyone's doing. Now, everyone's still working on assignment 1, and there is questions about our time together, our hard time together. Remember when we used to meet in buildings and everything? Well, we still kind of have that on our schedule. We meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but just to remind you guys, we still meet, we still can meet, but I want you to listen closely about this. We don't, our time that we spend that's on our calendar, me and you spend that time for one-on-one help and just basically appointment, how do I say this? Because all of you are just hyper-focused, and I just want to make sure that there's no misunderstandings. We don't cover any new material on that time. The lectures are on the links that you see on your assignments, and the time that we have on Tuesdays and Thursdays is one-on-one time for the exercises. So if you need one-on-one time and you need to spend it during our time together on Tuesdays and Thursdays, please let me know so I can be prepared for you. Now, some of you are like, well, why don't I just go? You can do that. Again, I know I'm giving you option paralysis here, and it's, I'm giving you too many options, so most of you are scratching your heads. What I'd like to do is the following. This is how we usually do things. The lectures, we don't, like what you've been doing, we don't really need to do them all face-to-face. We don't all need to be in the same Zoom window to do that, okay? Because 99% of you aren't going to do anything except listen to the lecture and not really have any feedback. A great majority of you would like and prefer, and from my experience, is to chop the lecture up into different bites where okay, I could watch some of it on this day, some of it this day, I could do some of my reading here and there, and then you come up with questions, don't you? You're like, all right, I did my reading, I listened to the lecture, Bob's as confusing as usual, I looked at the assignment, I got some questions on this. All right, that is what our time is on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's what it's for. So you don't miss anything if you're not there because I'm not covering any new material. Let's put this in a different perspective. And again, this is how I usually hold classes even before what's going on with the world right now. Let's just say that we met on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the M building in room whatever, okay? We would still do it that way. What I would do is I would be in the room, right? And then when people would kind of show up, they would have questions, and that would be my time to sit with you and give you the one-on-one attention that you need, where you have more than a question that I could address with the class, but I could sit with you, explain something to you, go over an assignment with you. So even before this, class time was more like an open house, where most people that didn't have questions didn't come. That's fine. You're not missing anything because the lecture's been posted anyway. So that way I'm sitting there, and when you show up, I can sit with you. You're like, hey, Bob, I got a question about assignment 1, and I can spend time and sit with you, and I could go over that. And that way it's first come, first serve, and I could kind of take care of whatever questions that you have. That's the format I like to use in general because that allows us to do more than one thing at the same time. Remember, even before, I'll stop saying that, but, class used to be the class, right? Back in the old days where, you would show up to class on Wednesday or whatever at 6 o'clock, and, your professor would give you a lecture, and that would be it until Wednesday at 6 o'clock. And then maybe you'd have an office hour or an email, but that was basically it. Things don't work like that anymore. What we do now is with technology and with this blended learning anyway, you could watch the lecture on your own time and then come to class just with focused questions. That's exactly what we're still doing here, except now our focused questions aren't in the classroom in campus, but they're in a Zoom chat or they're in Blackboard or however. So I know I'm over-explaining it, but from my point, this is kind of tough because I can't look at your faces and judge your level of confusion or understanding. So if you have any questions about that, please reach out to me. But again, just in general, to sum this up, we don't cover any new material during that time. That time is meant for one-on-one. I would prefer you would make an appointment with me. Why? So I know what's on your mind. I can prepare for it, right? Same thing that we did last year or the year before. You would send me an email and you'd say, hey, Bob, I'm going to, during our one-on-one time, I really want you to, if we could spend some time on assignment 1 on this specific topic, that way I could prepare for you. Okay, that's great. So if you'd like to do that and spend some time with me on that, there's various ways to do it. I would prefer you would go to our syllabus, and if you go to the top, it says schedule an appointment, it says like my name, and then that directs you to my Google Calendar, and that way you can just look at my Google Calendar and you can see what's free. It doesn't have to be during class time. It could be any time. So you could just go there. You could schedule some time with me. That way you don't have to, you could look at my calendar and you can see what's available. And that way I get a notification, easy peasy, okay? However, again, options paralysis. Bob's giving us too many options. If Google Calendar isn't your thing, technology isn't your thing, you don't want to be clicking on stuff, do it old school. Call me, send me an email. Is email old school? I think it is by now. And then we could do it that way. So that's how you could schedule some time with me. So we could do it. I prefer you go to my Google Calendar. That way you could see what's available. I could see what's available. But if that's not your jam, just contact me and we'll do it old school and we can schedule some time that way. So that's how, again, that's a little bit more about our scheduled time together. It's really just for one-on-one stuff. Don't panic. Oh, Bob, I can't make it on Wednesday, or I can't make it to class. Well, it's virtual. So just let me know what you need, and we'll take care of you that way. So, okay. So that is basically what everyone's working on. You're working on assignment 1, or you're just wrapping it up by now. Questions about how we meet, if how you get a hold of me and you can schedule some time with me, and kind of the MO. We covered that. What else do I have for you? I don't have anything really new because I don't want you to really start anything while most of you are still finishing the first assignment. So anyway, that's really all I had for you. So continue with your first assignment. If you need me, reach out. Right? We went over that. There's 1,000 ways you can get a hold of me. But you need to try. I need to know. I need to know that you need me, and we could work it out from there. The only thing that's really kind of out of the question at this point is still face-to-face stuff. But anything electronic works, right? We could do Blackboard. I don't like Blackboard personally because it takes a lot of bandwidth. However, if you want to, we could do it that way, right? Most of us know how Zoom works. We could do it that way, right? We could do, what else? Teams, if you know how Teams work. Don't know how any of that works, you want to talk on the phone? We can do that too. There's 1,000 ways that we could do it. If you need me, I need to know that you need me, and then we can figure all of that out. So that's really all I have. So have a great weekend, and I'll post something else early next week. Have a great weekend. Thank you for making it this far. Be safe, and I bid you all a very well rest of the day. Thank you.